This voucher system, this voucher bill is bad for North Carolina, and at the end of the day, we're going to have to do everything we can to get this bill repealed.
We interviewed North Carolina Association of Educators President Rodney Ellis about the Opportunity Scholarships, or voucher program, in North Carolina.
They actually overturned a Superior Court ruling that found them unconstitutional based on the grounds that it doesn't adhere to what is written in our state's constitution, and that is a requirement that every student have access to a sound basic education. And because there's no accountability in those private schools, we can't guarantee that these students are receiving a sound basic education in those schools. It undermines the profession, first of all. When you using taxpayer dollars to fund a voucher system in a private school where there's no accountability, the teachers there are not required to be certified with the exception of the headmaster or whoever the supervisor in charge of the school is. They're the only ones that have to be certified. So you're really undermining the profession when you're suggesting that you can take tax dollars, send kids to a private school where there's no accountability and there's no requirement that the teachers in that school are actually certified teachers. It makes it look like, well, anybody can do this job, and I disagree with that idea wholeheartedly. Just the lack of accountability and the fact that students who attend those private schools, there's no way that we as taxpayers who are funding this education can determine whether they're being successful in those schools, whether or not they have certified educators in the classrooms. We can't determine pretty much anything, how successful they are on their tests, because private schools aren't required to report that information. It's going to damage our public school system so very much, and I don't think that the public out there really realizes what's happening, because right now they're talking about these vouchers are strictly for low-income families, but at some point they're going to change their language and start talking about it should be available to everyone. And once they open the doors for everyone, what's going to happen is you're going to see all of these parents who can already afford to send their kids to a private school receiving a huge tax break. There's no rule in place that prevents a private school from being able to dismiss a student for whatever cause they deem necessary. And it might be something minor. It might be just the fact that an educator in that building doesn't have the patience to deal with this particular student, and they're automatically being dismissed from these schools. One of the things that I don't think legislators anticipated was the number of students who would actually apply to religious schools. And I think we also get into a situation of separation of church and state when we're again using tax dollars to fund a private school education, particularly to a parochial school. So I think that 85% of the students who are enrolled in schools by using that voucher are actually enrolled in religious schools, and I don't think that was their intent. I don't think it can possibly serve special needs children. I don't think that there are many private schools and or charter schools out there who are equipped to deal with special needs children. So special needs children aren't going to have the opportunity to benefit from that. And yet again, we have a situation where their parents are taxpayers and their money is going to fund educations in schools that their children are not going to be able to be allowed to attend. I think it's important that those who are really true believers in public school system, that we join forces and try to prevent that from happening.
For more information about this issue, please visit our issues page on school vouchers on our website, publicschoolsfirstnc.org.